Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of One-on-One. I'm still getting used to all the technology here, buttons and things like that. Anyhow, thanks for dropping by. Again, today's a kind of a fun one-on-one. I want to talk a little bit about this. I found this little baby in my one of my long boxes, and when I saw the date on there, 1988, I figured, you know what the heck, I'm gonna open it up and get depressed. And you know what? I figured, let's get depressed together and see what's going on. What were the prices like in 1988 compared to today? And we all know that things are going absolutely crazy right now with comic book prices. So anyways, I hope a lot of you are logging in or joining us on the chat. I see there's a few people there right now. It's great. If there's a book that you'd like me to look up, I'll be more than happy to do that. I also have... let's see here. I have Go Collect all ready to rock and roll here. So we can look up the book as it's worth now, according to Go Collect, and we can compare it to this. So anyways, again, guys, hope you're having a great day. And if you're just getting here now, if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button and the like button and leave a comment as this stream goes on, because the more comments that you make, the more chance you have of winning some free pressing when I hit 600 subscribers. I'm getting there, slowly but surely. We are getting there. Anyhow, let's see who's here today. Robert Stone, how you doing, Robert? Hey, thanks a lot, Robert, for putting out a lot of... I noticed you're interacting quite a bit on Instagram and on my Facebook page, so thanks for that. That's fantastic. I'd love to hear from you, and everybody for that matter. And I do try to respond when I can, but between trying to organize this YouTube space, doing all the pressing that I have, and believe me, I have a lot of pressing, I can only do so much, but I do try to respond to people as you make comments. Anyways, without further ado, I hope you come prepared. I know I have. I have my Kleenex because I think I'm going to need it. So let's start off with one of my favorites. I have it on there, Amazing Spider-Man 300. Now, this one came out in 88, and I believe ASM 300 was released in 1988. I believe it was anyways. Hey, Chris Reynolds, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Rob Collects, how you doing? I know they're going bonkers, Rob, and we're going to see how bonkers they are compared to 1988. Let's look at here. I got ASM 300. Way back in 1988, it came out, and even when it came out, I think it went up, well, yeah, right here. McFarlane black costume. Fine is $2.50 and near mint was $3. So if you're one of those lucky fellas who went out and bought 20 copies or 30 copies, you're doing all right. Let's see, according to and guys, this is the direct edition. This is not even the oh, look at that. This is not even the newsstand edition. This is a direct edition. I won't even look at the newsstand because it's ugly. It's scary. But check this out. So 98 copies. Recent sales, oh my lord, look at that. $5,900 US for a 9.8. But you know what? Near mint. Let's go down. Let's be more realistic here, shall we? Let's go down to, say, a 9.4. A little more real. So a 9.4, still $1,300 US. Quite a good investment if you actually purchase several copies way back when. I'm trying to get my messages to come up on my cell phone here. It'd be a lot easier than me turning my head all the time. Let's see if I can get this going. And I'm here. There I am. One sec, guys. It's technology, I tell you. I don't see any of... Oh, that's great. I don't want to keep turning my head and... I don't see the chat anywhere. Anyhow, well, it was on there. Now it's not. That's my luck. I'll try that again. Let's see if that works. No, nothing. Anyways, okay, I guess I'll turn my head here and there. So who else we got coming in today? Stavros bought two ASM 300. I bought two ASM 300s for $100 each off eBay way back. Great at 9.6 and 9.4. You know, I'll tell you, I had a 9.6 ASM 300 signed by everybody. And I sold it for $400, and I thought I did really well. It was a signature series book. This is about 5 years ago. It was a good buck. I thought, not no more. That book's probably worth about $2,000 or $3,000. Stan, Michelini, McFarlane. You know, it's sad. It's a sad thing. I vote 7 copies between 8.5 and 9.8. Well, that's a good little investment. I tell you, and if you've been following me on Instagram, you know I've been thinking about New Mutants 98. Back at Christmas time, I think they were going for around $2,000 in 9.8. And for the longest time, and Chris, you can attest to this, you go to the show, you can pick up a New Mutants 98 for around, $1,000, $1,200, and that was a common price for years. But I don't know, something in my gut said this book is undervalued. If Wolverine is going through the roof like that, Deadpool is probably as popular as Wolverine is. So I said, I'm going to start buying some New Mutants 98s. Now, that being said, there weren't a whole heck of a lot out there to find. And, I did locate a few. And if you saw my post today on Instagram and on Facebook, yes, the one of the 9.4 I picked up for $400 just after Christmas time. I cracked it, pressed it, sent it in, came back at 9.8. So the comic doctor is happy today. I don't do that enough, and I do it for everybody else, and never for myself. So it was quite nice to get that. Yeah, exactly. Bought 2 A's. Okay, we got that already, Chris. I'm glad I got back into collecting when I did. I bought a lot of my grails between 2011 and 2016. Prices are now crazy. Yeah, prices are now crazy, and everyone keeps talking. Are they going to come down? Are they going to go up? Continually go up? What I think is really interesting, again, it's the Fantastic Four and the X-Men prices. These books continuously go up and up and up. There's been no announcements. I'm not selling that Deadpool book. Not yet, because they haven't mentioned anything about Deadpool 3 yet. And I think when that happens, I think New Mutants 98 in a 9.8 white pager is going to go, and just a direct edition will go for $5,000. That's maybe more. Who knows? Prices are that stupid right now. Stavros, I have a 9.6 triple signature series at CGC for a press, hoping it bumps to a 9.8. Well, wouldn't that be nice, eh? Oh, so that's an interesting point about the signature series. I often get people asking if I can crack signature series books out and submit them afterwards and maintain that yellow label. Well, the answer to that is no. There were a couple of guys that were able to do that, and I would always refer clients to those few people, or I'd say just send it back to CCS. Well, I contacted CGC last week. I was getting kind of angry. So, you know what? I've been doing this for 5 years with you guys. Why can't I have the ability to crack out a book like Stavros's book and do the work and send it in? Well, they told me that they no longer allow anyone else to do that except for CCS. They had allowed some guys to do it. They had this grandfathered policy in place, and these guys were doing it for some time. But apparently now, if you've got a signature series book and you want it pressed and cleaned, it has to go back to CCS. That doesn't bother me. That's fine. That being said, while she had me on the phone, she convinced me to be a facilitator. So now I'm a CGC facilitator. Not that we're going to be facilitating any signatures anytime soon because of COVID, but in the future, perhaps I'll be able to host some events where I can get some books signed for my clients. It'd be a lot of fun, I think. Anyways, let's get back to this. Anybody else? Amazing Spider-Man 300 is a 33-year-old book. Why won't we look up a book from 1988 from 1955? Well, I'll tell you, you mean you want an old book? Is that what you're trying to say? I'll look up an old book. Let's look up, well, we're in Spider-Manville. Let's look up Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man, number 1, 1963. Well, let's go to Go Collect first. How about that? Let's go to Go Collect. I'll transition us over here. Go up to Go Collect, and we'll look up Amazing Spider-Man, number 1. There she is. And search. Okay, there it is. I love that cover. Oh, here we go. So here we got some sales history. So a 9.6, well, let's find a recent sale. So a 9.2 sold in April of 2021 for $150,000 US from Heritage Auction House. And the price has been jumping, as you can see here. But back in 1988, if you contacted Mile High Comics in Denver, Colorado, I believe, right? I believe it's Denver. If you were to contact Mile High Comics, say, oh, I'd like a nice high-grade copy of ASM number 1. They probably say we don't have a copy, but we'll keep our eye out for you. And probably in the course of a few months, you might find one. And if you're lucky enough to find one, you would have paid near mint Let's go this. Let's say good, $200. Very good, $400. Fine, $600. And near mint, you'd have been spending a whopping $1,200 US for a beautiful copy of ASM #1. And as you can see now, yeah, $150,000 for the most recent 9.2 sale. I'm glad that I got back into collecting. Okay, we already read that one, Christopher. ASM 300 is a theory, okay. In 88, ASM 1 was basically the same price as AF 15. Yeah, it was. And I think Amazing Fantasy 15 is in here. Amazing. Let's see. Actually, I have to go to the very beginning because this one, back in the 80s, I noticed that they didn't call him. They didn't refer to Amazing. They didn't refer to it as Amazing Spider-Man. They just referred to it as Spider-Man. So I don't know, but let's see if Amazing Fantasy's in here. Amazing Adventures, Amazing Tales. Yeah, there it is, right there. You're right. So, an Amazing Fantasy 15 back in 1988 was $1,650 US. Still a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. You know, it was almost $2,000 back then. That was a lot of dough to spend in comics, and you have to wait a very, very long time to see that return. But if you had that book and you bought that book back then, wow! And around that's the year actually. 88 was the year I bought my first Amazing Spider-Man #1, and I bought it for $100 Canadian. So to give you an idea, the grade, it ended up coming back at 3.5. And I always tell that story because the store owner had a ASM 1 and an AF 15. I could have bought both, but you know, I was working at Byway at the time, making $3.15 an hour. So for me, it was like, I went for the Amazing Spider-Man #1. Duh. Anyways, lots of fun. Let's see. Stephen, hey, how you doing, Stephen? Hey, Doc. Steve from Brockville. Hey, how's it going? Enjoying the conversation. Keep up the great content. Well, thanks very much. I'm trying to keep up the content. You know, it's my hopes to build this channel up and up and up. And I have talked to a lot of different people to possibly come on and do some segments. I'm really trying. I'm trying to get someone from CGC to come on and do a Q&A with me as well too. I don't think it'll be live, but at least it'd be kind of fun to have that. We'll see. I'm trying. But thanks very much for popping by. Chris, you had to mow a lot of grass for that. You're damn right I did. I had to stock a lot of shelves and put a lot of, what was that stuff that I used to, Mr. Noodle. I used to stack those Mr. Noodles really high at Byway. Those things sold like hotcakes back then. You worked at Byway. Yes, I did. I was 14 years old. 14, I had my first job. Crazy. What other books can we look at? You know what's a good one to look at? She-Hulk. She-Hulk's going stupid. Let's have a look at She-Hulk. Because I'm going to tell you, a few of these books that have gone nuts today look, be honest. Every comic store had the $1, the 10-cent bin, the 25-cent bin. And the books you'd find in those for years, and not even that long ago, She-Hulk #1, Eternals #1, all the Eternals books, right? The Marvel Premiere 15, the Iron Fist books for a while, they weren't super hot. Anyways, let's see. She-Hulk #1 now, I think it's going for more than that. Yeah, look at that. Last sale of She-Hulk #1 was $1,326, and the show hasn't even come out yet. Let's see what a She-Hulk went for back in 1988. I got a feeling it was 99 cents. But let's be thorough here, shall we? Yeah, actually, She-Hulk #1 to 25. I wasn't too far off. A near mint copy, $1.50. And most comic book stores had those in the 10-cent bin. They couldn't give them away. No one wanted them, you know? Stavros tells us the ASM #1 is the biggest mistake I ever made. I passed up an AF 1540 for it. Yeah, well, we all have these stories. Again, I told you got to come and bring your Kleenex today. Got to bring your Kleenex because we're going to cry together today. We're going to cry. We're going to be depressed. We're going to talk about this stuff and we're going to feel terrible that we passed up on so many good books. And listen, it's not even long history. I passed up on a Hulk #1 at Christmas time. I passed up on two Hulk, no, not Hulk #1, sorry, Hulk 181. I passed up on two of those. Within a 2-week period, I had an opportunity to buy an 8.0 for 5,000 Canadian. Then I had an opportunity to buy a 9.0 for 8,500 Canadian. I passed up on both, and I'm kicking myself in both cases. So, Yeah, long history, we've all made those mistakes, but even recent history, I've still made some big bloopers here. What else we got going on here? Wayne from Pickering. Hey, Wayne. See me on Saturday. Well, Saturday, because you all know, because of COVID-19, we're locked down. I can't open the shop. I don't want to get a fine. But what I've been offering people, if you want, I hope this is not a good idea saying this out loud. I don't want to be inundated with this, but between 11 and 1, if you want, I can meet with a Zoom. We can talk about the books you have. I've done that. I did that last Saturday for a client. We went through some of the books they had. If you just want to do a curbside drop-off, Wayne, no problem. We can do that. Just give me a text later and we'll organize that, okay? Amazing Spider-Man 14. Another good one. Let's find out what they're going for. That's the first appearance of Mr. Green Goblin. Let's have a look-see. I got to put another monitor here with the questions. I got to figure that out. I'll figure that out for next time. All right, there she is right there. All right. Wow. So there's only one. Okay, when's a recent? Let's look at for recent sales. A 9.0. Oh boy. A 9.0 sold for almost 17,000 US this month. And let's see what an Amazing Spider-Man 14. Any guesses? No cheating. Any guesses what an Amazing Fantasy 14? Sorry, guys, I'm sorry. An Amazing Spider-Man 14 sold for in 1988. Before I tell you, any guesses? And I'll read them out before I say it out loud. Let's go near mint. The best you can buy. I got it right here. Oh, gotta get my teeth. Guess how much? Let's see. Anybody? Any guesses what an Amazing Spider-Man 14 sold for in 1988? 300, Stavros? Near mint. $1.50. Come on, Robert. Not that cheap. I wish. Oh. Wayne. Ding, 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 ding. $100 for a near mint copy of Amazing Spider-Man 14. Holy jumping. You could have bought like a nice mid-grade copy for $50. Wow. Oh, told you I need the tissues because I remember seeing these books at the comic store. I saw them all the time. I'll tell you a fun story, actually. There used to be a guy had a store named Ken. It was Ken's Comics. Ken's Comics in Oshawa. There was Unicorn Comics and Ken's Comics. You could go to both or choose one. I went to both. But Ken, he got it. He knew I liked my Spider-Man books that I was collecting, and that's why I bought that #1 instead of the Amazing Fantasy 15. But anyhow, he called me. I goes, Kevin, I got a whole bunch of low-grade ASM ones, or ASM books. You want some? I said, yeah, I'll come in. So I drove my bike. I was even 16 years old yet. I drove my bike to his shop, and he had #2, #3, #4, all the way up to like #20. And they were like $5. $10. They were bad. They were really rotten. If you saw that picture of the first Craven I had on Instagram, they were worse than that. It's the tears and just. So I bought them all though because it was the collection was almost done. I had #1 already. Now I had all these. So I got home and I read them all. I read all the comics and then I looked at them and said, you know what? I just dropped about $75 on these books, but the grades are so bad. I'm gonna take them back. Where's my tissue? So I took them all back to Ken. He happily gave me a refund that I bought. I probably bought West Coast Avengers, whatever, or Alpha Flight, whatever, right? And I gave all the books back. And now we all know that a low grade. Like let's look really quick here. What's a low grade copy of Amazing Spider-Man? Like say 3 cost. Let's see, Amazing Spider-Man. Let's say number 4. Because it was in there as well. #4, first appearance of Sandman. I gave it back. It was probably like a 2 or a. Look at this. I'll say it was a 2. I probably paid $3 for it, $5, $7 maybe. And look, now it's $1,000 US. Where's my tissues? Where are my tissues? Anyways, any more? What else are you guys saying out there? My comic portfolio has always outperformed my stock. Well, that's good. Dragon Lady Comics was that Pickering, or was that downtown? That was Pickering, I think. And they used to set up at the Pickering flea market, if I recall correctly. Am I right? I should have bought an AF-15 when it was 12. So you're darn right, Jamie. You should have. My dad should have. All of our parents should have bought comics when they were, they should have bought comics for all of us, and a lot of them didn't, unfortunately. But that's okay. I wonder if I can. I'm going to try something here, guys. I'm going to try to put the live stream over here. That's my, and see if I can look at the questions while it's here. That'd be really cool if I can. Just give me 1 second here, because I'm tired of turning my head over all the time. Just bear with me for 1 sec. YouTuber. And then go to Comic Doctor. Think of some more comics to look up. I'm going to look up some more in a second. That'd be really cool if I could just give me one. Gotta be careful. Echo. Okay. Okay, that's really weird. No, it's not working. That's really creepy and weird. Okay, that's not working. Forget it. I'll figure it out for next time. What other comics can we look up today? I passed on a mid-grade ASM 14 4 years ago for $7.50. Wayne, the beaches. Yeah, when I was at university, I lived downtown for a while, and I used to go to Grey Legion, I think it was called, and I think Dragon Lady I went to a couple times. Million Comics was there at the time. And of course, what do you call it? Silver Snail, right? Queen Street. I think Silver Snail's over on Yonge Street now, if they're still even open. I have no idea. Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, you could talk for hours with the comics we passed up on. I mean, the Hulk 1s and even just the ASM 300. I remember when ASM 300 came out, right? And even New Mutants 98. I bought it right off the rack. I could have grabbed 50 of them if I wanted to. I didn't, I remember when, it stinks, because when we're that age, we're kids. And in 88, I was like, 17 years old? I didn't have a lot of money. I mean, after Byway, I worked retail at Consumers Distributing. I also worked there. Remember that place? You'd write out the stuff and hand it in. I used to work there as well. Didn't have, $3.15 an hour, $5 an hour, whatever. It didn't make a lot of money. But anyhow, when I got my first job as a teacher, I remember I was single, right, living at home still. So I was getting not a great paycheck, but I was getting a paycheck that was much better than I was getting before. And the new the Phantom Menace came out. I'm a big Star Wars fan, guys. I'm going to do some videos on Star Wars too. I love Star Wars. And I remember I went to Toys R Us because all the Kenner toys were released. And I went to Toys R Us, and there was this kid looking at all the Star Wars toys. And I brought my cart up to the Star Wars toy, and I grabbed every single one. I think I dropped $300-400. I just grabbed every single action figure they had. Of course, they're not worth, they're worth a little bit now. They're going up now of all times, but for many years, they were just worth nothing. But I bought all the action figures. Something I always wanted to do when I was a kid, in 1978, 1979, is grab all of them and take them home. I never obviously could do that. I was pretty spoiled. I have all my action figures from that time, but in 97 or 98 when the Phantom Menace came out, yeah, I was buying all those toys up. I should have been at the comic store buying all the comics up. So I should have been doing. Never had. Yeah, consumers. I heard that all the time. Never had. You don't have anything in stock. Yeah. TMNT first print, good one. This is gonna make a lot of people cry. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh boy, you ready for this? Here we go. Here we go. There she is. That's the first print right there, I believe. Yeah. Most recent sales in 9. Oh my lord. So the most recent sale, according to GoClick. Now, GPA could be different than this. If you've got GPA, you might have something different. But yeah, 25. Oh, it was 25 grand last year. July, not even a year ago, that book sold for 25,000 US. Now one just sold for 76,000 US in a 9.6. I'll see if Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is even in this one. It divides everything up. Give me a second here to find it. This Mile High thing, the reason I had this, I think, is because I used to buy books from their ads in the comics, and they would sometimes send me their catalogs. Let's see here. Teenage. Okay, I'm in the area for the Independent. And I am... There they are. Yep. Okay, I got it. First printing. Near mint copy. 1988. Go. Let's see what you think. Near mint copy. No cheating. The 1988 price. Am I too loud, guys, by the way? If I'm too loud, please let me know and I'll move the mic away or try to adjust the sound. Let's see here. Oh, Paul. Paul, do you still have it? Do you still have that Hulk 181? Chris Reynolds 20? Wayne, where'd you buy your comic book from? Was it from Morgan Self? That was an old shop that was a bookstore that sold comic books back then. $20. Wobbles $4,000. No. Robert Stone's 50. Actually, guys, I can tell you, back in 84, I remember they started making second prints and third prints relatively quickly. The book was pretty popular at the time because they didn't have very many. According to this Mile High price guide, $200 US. So again, for an independent book at that time, I remember hearing people talk about that at Ken's Comics. Actually, having one was a big deal, but it didn't go anywhere like today. Holy cow! Wow, I'm curious to see what the lower grade ones are going for. Let's see. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Let's go down. Let's see what an 8 or... Like I pressed one to a 7.5 for a fellow. Let's see what that's going for now. 18,000. Wow. And that 5.5 that I pressed went up to a 7.5, and then I pressed another one for him to an 8. 16. Wow. So it's a $20,000. They're $20,000 books, and it's you get a 7.5 or an 8. You're looking at a $20,000 book. Crazy. Low print runs, right? You think that a low print run is what's going to really do it. And don't get me wrong, I think it does. Like, look at something like The Walking Dead. I've been keeping my eye on that because when the show started going downhill a bit, I thought, and the price started kind of going down a bit, and I was going to grab one, and I didn't. And now it's back up again. There's a low print run of Walking Dead #1. And I think Invincible 2 actually is a low print run of that as well. I went to go buy one of those the other day. I'm like, $2,000? No, I'm not paying $2,000 for that. No way. I should have bought. I saw Invincible coming through the shop all the time. Like 3 years ago, Invincible. Another one was Saga. All the time I saw those books. And you'd think I would say, I should pick one of these up. And I never bothered. I didn't bother. And I wish I did because I'm really enjoying Invincible, actually. Let's see. Way to go. Oh, you don't, eh, Paul? Oh, well, you'll find another copy if you don't have one already. Lots of people say we're in a bubble. Your thoughts? Like I said on the other video I did, I think we are in a bit of a bubble. I think everybody is too. Look, I think I'm swamped, guys. I'm really busy, and a lot of the pressers I know down in the States, they're swamped too. So the whole industry is swamped. There's this massive interest that has now been infused into this hobby, right? So guys who might have been collectors before. We're stuck at home. They had nothing to do, right? And they were they found their old comic boxes. They reintroduced themselves to collecting, and now they're back in again. And you know as well as I do. I warn people. Don't be careful. People are, I think I might start collecting again. Be careful because it's addictive, right? So I think now all these new people are interested in the hobby. Is there a bubble? Is it going to burst? Sure, I think it will correct a little bit, but I really don't think you're not going to be able to buy some of these books for half price than they are now. No way. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I want to buy a lot of these books for myself, and I want a Walking Dead #1, but I'm not going to pay $3,500 for that book. I won't do it. Canadian, right? So yeah, I think it's going to go up, 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 up. I think it's going to plateau a little bit. Then it might go down a bit, but it ain't gonna sink right back down. We're not going to see the prices from 3 years ago. I don't think so. That's what I think, but I could be wrong. I thought, hey, listen, I thought the housing. If you're from the GTA in the Toronto area, you know the housing prices have gone crazy on the outskirts of Toronto. Just here in my hometown of Oshawa alone, the houses have gone up like stupid. A house that you could have bought last year for $540 is now $900, $850. It's crazy. Townhouses selling for $850, $900, but that was never the case. So is that a bubble that's going to burst? I don't know. I thought when COVID hit, I thought there was going to be a recession. I thought the house prices were going to fall. They went up. So who knows? It's a crazy time. What do you guys think? Anybody think that it's a bubble that's going to burst, or you think the prices are going to go straight up? I'd love to hear your opinion on that too. What do you think? Colin Smith, I finally got my X-Men 129 coming in. Hope that's something you can work on with me and submit it. By all means, Colin, I'd love to help you out. Let me know when it comes here. Robert Stone, I'm going to look up a 129 in 1 second. Christopher Reynolds, do you think the price climb has to do with the backup at CGC? Less supply in the market. I talked to CGC yesterday. Guess, I'll throw this out there again. I like to hear what you think. Guess how many comic books they're receiving every day. I heard this yesterday. Guess how many books they get into their warehouse and they're receiving every single day. Any guesses? Nobody? Okay, I'll just tell you. 15 to 20,000 comics a day. 15 to 20,000 comics every single day. That's how many comics CGC's getting. So you're wondering why their turnaround times are so bad? That's why their turnaround times are so bad. Crazy. Okay, we got a request for an ASM 129 at 8.0. Let's look that baby up. Here we go. There she is. All right, 8.0. Right there. So an 8.0 currently, and I have an 8.0 in my collection. That's my copy is an 8.0 actually, Robert. So good pick there. Let's see. Last sale was $2,800 US. I think I know what the 1988 one's going to be. Back in 1988, if you're in the market for an Amazing Spider-Man 129, very fine, you were looking at around, $45 US. $50 US, you would have got yourself a near mint copy of the first appearance of Frank Castle, the Punisher. Wow, crazy. Yeah, Stavros, you think 5,000 comics are a lot, eh? No, 15 to 20,000 comics. All right, Chris, do you think the price climb, okay, back up at CG? Yeah, I don't know. It could be. And I think everybody's busy. I think everybody's backed up. Everybody's scrambling to find books. And there's not a lot out there. There's not a lot of collections out there. I know, Chris, you're a big buyer of collections. Are there still lots of collections to be found? I don't think so. In 2012, I'm that person. A few books as a kid from the 80 or about 12 months, and then they sat until 4 months ago. Oh, you're the guy. So it's you people. It's people like you that are now coming back into the hobby. Welcome back. But be careful because it is addictive. Let me tell you. 2012, I found an old long box. I opened it, and the rest is history. Been collecting. Yeah, guys, I'm the same as you, man. I was out. I was out of comics. I stopped collecting comics in 1990. In my first year of university, I moved away from home. I packed all my comics up. I put them away. I didn't sell them. I just put them away. I keep everything. I'm a pack rat. So I have all my old toys, all my old comics. But I was done. I'd go to a comic store once in a while, but more to shoot the shit with the guys. I wouldn't go there to buy comics. Sometimes if I saw a cool, Steranko cover or something, I'd buy it. But I was out, right? I was out of the hobby. And I was out of the hobby, gee whiz, for many, many years. It wasn't until probably 10 years ago where I bought a collection on Kijiji. Right, I bought a collection. I bought it. I didn't even, my wife picked it up for me in Toronto. I saw it and she was in Toronto. I called the guy up. He was asking 800. I said, I'm going to buy this from you sight unseen. Hey, $400. My wife will be there in like an hour or 20 minutes. She said, fine. So she comes home, guys. And I tell you, we had like a caravan, a minivan, right? It was 10 totes, like big totes full of comics, and they were all bagged and boarded and pristine, and the guy took really good care of them, and it was basically the exact duplicate collection of what I had. I'm talking about all the Byrne X-Men, 2 or 3 copies of the first Gambit, 2 or 3 copies of the first Deadpool, all the new Mutant books, the Wolverine miniseries, the Secret Wars series, all that stuff, all the DC stuff that I like too from that, the John Byrne Superman and the long Green Arrow, long bow hunters and all that stuff, and it was all there, right? And it filled my whole room up, and I'm like, oh my god, what have I done? Anyway, I started selling a bit here and keeping a bit there, added to my collection, and then that was it. Hooked. That was it. I haven't looked back, and from there, I mean, guys, honestly, before that day, my biggest book was Amazing Spider-Man #1, 3.0, the one I had from when I was a kid, 3.5, and then maybe a first Punisher, and that was it. Now, since that time, my own personal collection I have every single Marvel key from the 1960s, like all the big ones everyone wants. I finally have them all. It took me 10 years to find them and buy them or trade for them or whatever. But it's I got right back in. I dove right back in. So it's very, very scary. It's very, very scary. Let's see what else some other people are saying. Let's see here. Okay, just got back home from a woman that sold me her ex-husband's entire collection. Oh, come on, Wayne. Are you telling the truth? He cheated on her, 1,000 comics, $600, already found Wolverine #1, Punisher 1, and still going. Wow. Congratulations. Not to her, but to you, I suppose. That's awesome. That was kind of like what happened to me. The guy, I think, was getting divorced, actually, and I just threw him the $400, and he was happy to just get rid of the damn things. And yeah, wow, that's good. Colin Smith, Go Collect's data seems to be off. I can't find anyone selling at their prices, even when converting to USD and ignoring shipping. Go Collect and look, with any of these price guides, you got to be a little bit careful. But they're actually, these are from actual auction sales, right? They're actual auction sales. But yeah, you got to take into consideration there's the fees involved. You got to take the fees off of that price. The shipping's got to come off of that price. If you're selling the books, the PayPal charges you and eBay charges you. So you got to always consider that. You don't look at it and say, okay, that, for example, like, look, we're looking at this, this 80 ASM 129 that sold for $2,800. Okay, it sold for $2,800, but how much did the seller actually get? If you got it on eBay, you can knock like 15% off of that right off the bat, right? Because there's those fees that are involved. And if you're a buyer, actually, you're getting stung as well, because if you're in Canada, you're getting charged that stupid international shipping center thing they have with eBay, and then the potential of being charged, duties and what have you at the border. So you got to be careful. And I know that Go Collect and GPA, they get their data at different times. People tell me that GPA is a little more accurate than Go Collect, but I kind of like Go Collect better because it's nicer to look at. It's a lot nicer looking application, so I prefer it for that reason. I also like how I can put my own comics in here, which is awesome, and I can put and it actually charts the value. So if I put down and Go Collect, ASM #1 at 3.5, if I put it in 4 years ago, it monitors the value, so it tells you, it gives you a chart of how your books are doing, almost like a stock market report, which is kind of cool. I like that. Crazy. Paid $18.60 for my 9.4. Kevin, it's in your hands right now. Stavros, I'm getting there. I know they're all here. Your books are here. They're safe. It's just a matter of getting there. I've got another pretty big order I'm working through right now, and then there's like some those smaller orders are kind of good for me because I can get through a lot of different people. That's why I get these books of 40 or 50. That really kind of puts a damper on things, right? It slows me right down. So, Adam Sakura is here. Hey, Adam, how's it going? Adam Sakura, that guy right there, he's to blame for this whole Everything. It's Adam Sikora who got me into comics in the first place, back at Paul Dwyer High School in 1985, grade 9, first day of grade 9. I'm sitting there. I got my lockers beside his. He opens up his locker and he's got a picture. There's no picture of women in there, you know, bikini. No, it's a picture of Spider-Man. Sorry, Adam. It's a picture of Spider-Man in the black suit with the white, you know, the new symbiote suit. And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, that's Spider-Man. I go, that's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man's red and blue. He goes, no, that's Spider-Man now. He goes, you want to know more? You can come with me to the comic store on Friday. I said, all right. I just made a new friend, went to the comic store. And that was 5 years of every Friday at the comic store, Unicorn Comics in Oshawa. So thanks a lot, Adam. Damn it. Adam wants to see, I think he was asking about Frank Miller Wolverine miniseries. That has actually spiked a lot too. Let's have a look-see. If you're interested in a particular DC book, Adam, let me know what one you want. But I'll tell you, the Mile High book I have here, it doesn't go far back. You won't find Action Comics #1 on here. You won't even find Justice League #1 on here for some reason. It doesn't go that far back for DC. I guess even back then, the Marvel stuff was a little more popular. All right, Wolverine #1. Let's see for Adam here, because it has gone up. There she is. That's the one. I love that Frank Miller series. In fact, that was a series the first dealing I had with Mile High Comics is I bought that 1 to 4 series from them. I remember I was homesick. I was homesick a lot, but I was homesick with the flu, I remember, and the package came from Mile High Comics, and I had the Wolverine miniseries, and I got to read that while I was home alone. It was awesome. Anyways, the good old days. So Adam, let's see. A 9.8 sold just this month for, holy cow, $1,000. I can tell you right now. Let's have a look. I have a feeling I know what this is going to be. It's not going to be, I'm going to get my tissue ready, because I should have bought more of these too. Let's see. Wolverine. Where are you? There it is. What If and X-Men and Wolverine. Yeah, #1. You know, for that time, it was not cheap. #1 and #4 at that time was $7. $7 for that issue. And the other 2 issues, 2 and 3, were $6. So basically $7 a pop in near mint. And now they're going for $1,000 in 9.8. Sorry, guys, I get choked up when I see that, because how many times have we been to a comic show in the last 10 years where there's handfuls of these books you can get for $20 or $40 or $50, and away you go. That being said, I don't feel too bad, because I know that somewhere I have storage with all my comics in it. I know that I have, a few years ago, I did a trade with a guy, and he gave me I want to say 8 to 10. This is awesome. 8 to 10 near mint copies of those of that set. So I have 10 sets of those somewhere. I gotta find them, but they're there, and there's definitely some 9.8s in there. I better find them, I better find them. Crazy. Anything from the era of DC comparably gone up? Jason Todd, Red Hood. Off the top of my head, Adam, I think things like the Black Hood and for example, what's going on with that King Shark. I sold the King Shark, first King Shark, off my wall at the shop to one of my regulars for $50. And the reason I didn't send it to CGC myself is because I didn't think it was going to hit 9.8. I thought it was going to be a 9.4, at best 9.6. Of course, I did the work on it. I sent it in. I guess I'm better than I know, and it came back a 9.8. I'm like, no, I should have sent it myself. Anyways, that Superboy book, I'm not sure what issue of Superboy it is, but first King Shark now is over $1,000. So, the movies are obviously driving interest in these books. Definitely, right? Definitely. I have a GPU if you want any data. You can throw it out there, Stavros, if you want to. Try 130 point. It shows actual eBay completed sales. Yeah, so that's okay. Yeah. Adam Segura, did the Riverdale and Sabrina series do anything significant, or any of the Archie comics back issues? I'll be honest, I don't see a lot. I see a lot of Archie. Early Archie comes through the shop quite a bit. the old stuff, right, from the 50s and the 60s. The early Archies do come through here. I don't see a lot of current modern Archie stuff, Sabrina stuff coming through. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever even pressed a Sabrina book, to be honest. A lot of early Archie, Jughead stuff, what's her name? Josie and the Pussycats. I've seen that come through my shop. But perhaps somebody there could speak to that. I know there are some diehard Archie collectors out there. I am not one of them, and a lot of my clients seem to be more superhero based. But is anybody into the Archie stuff that could speak to that? I'd love to hear from you. Go Collect costs, I think, $6 something a month or $7 a month, $6.99 a month, I think. What does Go Collect cover price? I'm not sure what that means. Chris Reynolds, to be fair, we should be looking up 9.4. Yeah, that's what I was kind of doing. But 9.8, honestly, though, Chris, a book like this is common in 9.8. So I have and there's lots of recent sales, right? So I have no problem. 2021, 2021, 2021, 2000, there's tons of them. So yeah, but a book like, Amazing Spider-Man #1, you got to go down like the 7.5, 8.5, 9, I think, to get a more of an accurate take on it. Next week, you should look up how much tissues are selling for. Hey man, you're darn right. Cause I'm almost through this box. This is, a lot of tissues going out these days for us comic collectors, and we see all this awful big prices that we didn't get in on when we should have got in on. Look up G.I. Joe #2. All right, G.I. Joe #2. Let me look up in Go Collect first. I would imagine the first Snake Eyes I know is going stupid. G.I. Joe 2 is going to show up. Let's see here. I want to hear how I sound. Well, that's not too bad. Okay. All right, G.I. Joe #2. Is it a real American hero? There it is. This one here, right? Not a lot of recent sales on that one. Is that the one, Chris? G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe #2. Holy cow, yeah, back in the day, you see, I didn't collect G.I. Joe, and I didn't realize that #2 is worth more than #1. Back in the day, a #1 of G.I. Joe was $30, and #2 was $50. So #2 is worth more, probably a first appearance or something, I would think. But why is there not a lot of sales? That's what I don't understand. But check this out also. Last sale a year ago was $130 US. But then just before that, it was $26. It popped up. Chris, what's up with that book? What's going on with that book? Why is it so significant again? Whew, it's hot in here. Let's see. It's a popular one. A lot of people are, which is starting to go crazy as well. I'll stick to the Amazing Spider-Man theme here, because people seem to like that one. Is this one? Oh, I did the wrong one. Oops, give me one sec. There we go. 238. One of my favorite covers, and this is just a direct edition. Wow, oh my Lord, have mercy. This is the directed. I'm getting... direct. 9.8. I can't believe how expensive. $3,700 for a first Hobgoblin. I don't even want to look at the newsstand. I don't even want to look at the newsstand. I'm going to look at the newsstand. I don't want to look at the newsstand, but I'm going to look at the newsstand. Yeah, back in 1988, you could have picked that book up for $7.50 US in near mint perfection with the tattoo and everything. But like I said, I have to go and see what the newsstand version was going for. This is the newsstand. Oh boy, only one sale. So this might. Oh, okay. That doesn't scare me too bad. Wait. Okay, so the newsstand is 3,700. So right now, it looks like, according to this, the direct and the newsstand are pretty much neck and neck. Does that sound right? Yeah, pretty close. Okay, I don't feel so bad. Look at that, though. Oh, what is it? Okay, let's go down and look at a 9.6 or a 9. Like Chris said, let's look at a 9.4, even a 9.4. 540 last sale this month for $675. A 9.6 selling for $1,100. $1,200 this month. Right? First appearances. Oh, Hulk 181. That's right. Okay, I get what you're saying. Let's see. January of which book are you talking about, Stavros? We didn't even look at Hulk 181. Actually, we know what it's going to be. It's just ugly as ever. It's oh. There she is. Look at this. Look at a 9. Look at a 9. Oh my lord, look at this. Now I gotta cry because I could have had a 9 for $8,500 US and the last one just sold for $13,900. Sorry, I could have bought it for 8,500 Canadian and it just sold for $13,900 US. I could have, oh my god. I gotta wipe the sweat off my brow as well, never mind. Anyways, that is, okay, what is this going for now? $60,000 for a 9.8. Hulk 181 will be in here. Adam, if you're still there, I guess you notice we're really focusing on the Marvel stuff here. It's just what everybody wants. Oh boy, here we go. Hulk 181. And it says here, actually, for all you people who insisted Hulk 181 is the first appearance, it says right here, Hulk 180, first appearance of Wolverine. It was $15 for a 180 and a 181 in mint condition, $50. $50. Eesh. 1988 was a good year, man. We could have had some fun. You Shouldn't Cry collected X-Men and Amazing Spider-Man from 88 to 92, plus some back issues. 90% of my collection in 2007 and lost one of my keeper boxes last year. I'm crying. Not you, oh, Colin. That's terrible. I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Man, oh man. GPA 9.8, 3,700. Last 9. Stavros, what book is that? I'm not sure. We're jumping around, so I'm not sure what book you're referring to there. Amelia Jade. Around 84 direct and newsstands have the same printing numbers. Yeah, I think so. Oh, Talkie 238. Okay, thank you. It's a Canadian price variant. Is that on here? Actually, did I screw that up? Let's see that. Canadian price. Is that on here as well? No, not this. Sorry. Let's have a look here. One more time. I'm not sure which is which. This is the newsstand, this is direct, and the Canadian price variant, I'm not sure where it is. Is that it here? The zero, I'm not sure. It doesn't say. I'm not sure if that's it or if GPA is doing it. But anyways, Chris is telling us right there, it's a Canadian price variant of 238, sold for $7K. Wow. Crime Suspense Stories 22. What was that going for in 86? Bill Michaels wants to know. I'm going to try to find it. It might not be in here, but I will check. It might be a little too old, and it might not. I don't believe those books at this time were really super popular, so I don't know if they would have included it in their well, maybe it's over here. Spirit, let's see. Crime suspense stories. I don't think it's going to be in here, but oh look. No, not seeing it. What I'll do, maybe I'll pick up an old, you know, what do you call it? Overstreet guide next time. It's a little more thorough than this one. It goes right back. Yeah, I don't see the crime books in here. Let's see, crime. Is it here? No. Nope. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. It's not in here, Bill. Apologies. Sorry, I tried. I'll pick up an old, like I said, Overstreet magazine. I can find one probably from the 80s, and that'll be fun to go through. Stavros, ASM 238, January 16th, 1800. Last 3700. Colin Smith, it seems to. The Canadian price variants are have become quite sought after. I mean, especially on books like, I know the Alpha Flight number 1's a big one. And like again, the 238, the ASM 238, the Thor book, is it 337, the first Beta Ray Bill, that's a big one too, and Canadian price variants, yeah. But what's interesting about that is the Canadian price variants are really popular, but and sought after. But if you have a AF-15 with a Great Britain pence price tag on it, it's not as valuable as the American 12 center. So, you know, are the other ones, the price variants also going to go up? I don't know. Right now, they don't seem to, but the Canadian price variants do tend to fetch a little more money because there's less of them, I would assume, you know? Yeah. All right, what time is it here, guys? I will go for a few more minutes, then we'll call it a night. Any other books you want me to look up? Any other books to make you all depressed? I will check a DC one here, actually. If Adam is still there. If you're still there, Adam, I'm going to check up Justice League. I know you have a Justice League number 1. Let's see if it's in here. I know that the Brave and the Bold's not in here, but Justice League is 60, so it might be in here. Oh, it is. Okay, so Justice League of America. It is in here. Let's have a look what they're selling for now. And there's going to be a pop for sure. Let's see. There she is. What an ugly cover. I absolutely hate that cover. But whatever. Okay, so let's look at, say, like a 9-0. Wow. Okay. So last sale, Adam, of a 9-0 is 31,000 US. An 8.5, we're looking around. Look how it drops down, half to an 8.5. But that was actually back in 2019. It could, you know, the most recent sale. Let's find a recent sale. You might not find many recent sales. Look at this. Look at this. There are no recent sales. Here, a 7.5, and then a 6.5. Okay, let's look at a 7.5. I have a 7.5 restored label. So a 7.5 sold this month for $6,075, and that's like for a fine, I guess, right? So the Justice League in fine is around 425 US back in 1988 for that same book. You know, honestly, I got to tell you, I really believe that the DC stuff's just not as popular as the Marvel stuff right now. And is it because of the movies? Is it because of the DCEU and what's going on with that? And that, you know, it hasn't been quite as popular as the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and there's not as much attention to it. Could that be it? Probably a big part of it, and that's probably affecting the comics. And I really think that a lot of people are hanging on to those DC books. They're not moving them. Like I sold a Green Lantern Showcase 22. I sold it to a local guy. I probably shouldn't have done it, but I did, and I had seller's remorse instantly because I got a feeling that the DC stuff, actually, if you're looking to buy stuff that's going to go up, probably DC is where you probably want to look. You can probably get some really good deals on a lot of these DC books. And a lot of the Bronze Age stuff too, like the Green Arrow stuff, the Green Lantern stuff from the 70s and late 60s. Some really nice stuff you can pick up there. And of course, the Neil, oh my gosh, come on, Kevin. I can't even think of his name. Okay. The artist, the first name Neil. Neil Adams, thank you. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? Neil Adams, you know, you can get a lot of that stuff probably at a good price and get it graded and hang on to it for a while. It's probably going to pop as well. Are all Canadian annuals with blank? No. RP, just that, I think it was the Thor annual #1 and Amazing Spider-Man annual 1. And the expert on that is actually in the chat, Chris Reynolds. Are those the only 2 annuals with the blank back covers? Or the Fantastic Four as well, I think, had a blank cover. Am I right, Chris? It was the Thor annual, it was the Amazing Spider-Man Sinister 6 annual, and I believe it was the Fantastic Four annual. I'm not sure what number. I don't think it was #1. Maybe it was Dr. Doom on the front cover. I remember that. And that one, I believe, had a blank cover as well. But if Chris is still there, perhaps he can pipe up, because I know Chris has submitted a couple of those to me for pressing. In fact, he owns one of the highest graded Thor copies, the first Hercules, I believe. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. Finally came to me, but thank you for helping me there. Batman 181 and a 3. Let's see. Was there somebody else ahead of you, though? I don't think there. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's look at that one. Let's look at a Batman 181. We're talking about, this is a hot book. Batman 181, first Poison Ivy, hot book. Always been a hot book. Why is that there? Okay, hold on. There we go. You see, this is what I missed out on, guys. This Batman, I was in Buffalo at a flea market. The guy had it. It was pristine, but it was missing. He wanted $20 for it. It was missing the post, you know, the pinup, and I didn't do it. I walked away. I came back. It was gone. Stupid. I was so angry at myself for that one. But anyways, you wanted a low grade, 3.0, 3.5, was it? 3.0. We're looking at 25 sales. So the last sale was $485.99 US for that book. And I don't believe that book is going to be in my magazine here, but I'm going to look, because it might be, because Batman's pretty darn popular. Let's have a look-see. Let's have a look-see. Batman. Here we are. Oh, it is, I think. 182 is there. Is that Batman? Yes, Batman number 181, poster insert. You could have bought a copy of this 181 back in 1988 for $50. $50 would have got you a near mint copy of Batman, the first appearance of Poison Ivy. Yeah, FF Annual 2, that was the one. Thank you very much, RP. So when is Excalibur going to pop? I've been waiting I've been waiting for Starbrand to pop, man. And remember Psi Factor and DP7, was it? Remember those? Who bought those? The Marvel, the Star, was it Marvel, the Star Universe, or whatever the heck it was called? I bought tons of that stuff. Oh, what a waste of money that was. RP, yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate it, because I'm new at this and I'm getting the hang of it. And, you know, hopefully the quality is not so bad. That's my big thing. I don't want people to be on here and it looks like crap. You know, I want the screen of the picture quality to be decent. I'm trying my best with that, but I do appreciate that. And yeah, whenever you're ready to send comics in, give me a holler. I am pretty backed up, but, you know, yeah, what I would recommend you do, and by the way, this goes to everybody who's out there, if you haven't done so already, pop by my my website and join my, like sign up for my newsletter. I do send out like updates about my own turnaround time, CGC turnaround time. I'm actually going to do a newsletter. I think I'm trying to, if I can find the time this week. I'm going to put another opportunity to give out some free pressing and grading, not grading, but free pressing. I'll explain that in the newsletter. But you'll find it about that by signing up for a newsletter at my website. It's really easy. Just wait for one of my banners to go by, and it has a little doohickey there where you can click on to sign up for my newsletter. All right. And but by the way, I don't send out newsletters every single day. I don't bombard your inbox. I hate when companies do that. You'll get a newsletter from me like at the most monthly, but it's usually every 2 or 3 months you'll get a newsletter from me. When I start doing CGC more frequently, then you'll get them more often. Because I tell people the books are on their way, and I give updates. So yeah, so please do that. Yeah, but you know what, Stavros? Those Poison Ivy books clean up really nice. The back cover are notoriously dirty. It's a lot of work, but you can make them shine again. So that might be worth your while. It's a hot book. Robert Stone wants to look up a Green Lantern 85. Yeah, it's a nice cover, boy. Green. I sold my copy, and I regretted it ever since. There we go. Yeah, it's a beautiful one. Let's see here. They're called the drug issues, right? Come on. Now, DC, if I remember correctly, these drug issues for DC, the reason why they did them was in response to Marvel. Like Marvel did the whole, the drug, the Harry Osborn plot line where Harry was hooked on heroin or something like that, right? And then the Comics Code didn't want to show that in the comic books, and Stan and Marvel said, "Screw you! There's it's an epidemic. We want to address it." And so they gave the finger to the Comics Code, and they released 2 or 3 comics that didn't have the Comics Code that dealt with Harry dealing with his addictions and Peter trying to help him. In response to that, if I'm correct, then DC followed suit with this one with Speedy. Also going through a similar addiction problem, and Art and the Green Lantern trying to help him. Anyways, here you go. Here are the prices for 85. Let's look at, like, say, an 8.5. So you can see you can still get nice copies of these for even a 9.2, like $325 for a 9.2, $450 for a 9.4. So it's not unattainable. Even a 9.8 in that book is still not crazy money. Let's see if there's anything that's high. Oh, actually, it's popped again. Look at that. This is usually an average price, guys. When you're going to go collect, you always want to click on the sales. This is kind of like a fair market value average. You always want to click on the sales, and it shows you the recent sales on eBay or Comic Connect or whatever. But as you can see, in March, one sold for $1,800. So there you go. The pie has popped up quite a bit. But I think back in 1988. You would have got that book for a song. Guaranteed. Let's have a look-see. Let's have a look-see now. Green Iron Film, the wrong spot. I'm in Marvel again. There's more Marvel on here. I'll tell you that right now. There's like 2 pages of Marvel. Or sorry, like 5-6 pages of Marvel. 2 or 3 pages of DC. All right. Green Lantern. There he is. And it was 85. What am I thinking there? Okay, 85. $25. Near mint copy was $25 back in 1988. The good old days. Wayne, Moon Knight. Oh, good for you, Wayne. Moon Knight 1, Doctor Strange 2, Killing Joke 1. Which copy? Which printing? Watchmen #1 has popped. If you can get a 9.8 of a Watchmen, that's a good book to have, and still going. Congratulations, Wayne. Where'd you find that? Kijiji, or did you find it on Facebook? I always like to know where people find their collections. I've actually got an opportunity for a collection this week as well. I'm very excited to see. It's kind of a Bronze Age, Modern Age, high grade collection, so I'm looking forward to that. If I pick up that collection, I'll do an unveiling. I'll do a YouTube video or an Instagram or Facebook video showing what I picked up. Thank you. Only if CGC. Okay, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. All right, that's cool. All right. Whew. Well, guys, I'm tired. I'm all sweaty, and I'm running out of tissue paper, and I don't know, maybe we'll call it, unless you don't have one for me to look up, I think I'm going to call it a night. I'll do this again, though. It's kind of fun going back and looking at what prices used to be at. What was going on in 1988? I don't think the Batman movie even came out yet. The Michael Keaton Batman, the Tim Burton movie didn't come out till 89, if I remember correctly. So that whole movie influence thing wasn't there. This time it was just a bunch of comic nerds like me, driving the market, The Comic Cons were small. My dad used to drive me into Toronto, and they used to have Comic Cons at the AGO. No, not the AGO. At the, what do you call it? The school, the art school in Toronto. My Lord, Kevin, I can't think straight today. I tell you, it's just hot in here. But there's that art school right downtown Toronto there, right beside the Art Gallery of Ontario, and they used to have comic shows, Comic Cons, mini ones, conventions. And my dad would drive me downtown, drop me off at like 1 o'clock, and I'd be there for 2 or 3 hours. I'd buy some books, and you come back and pick me up. And those were the good old days, man. It was, it wasn't crowded like it is today. When you go to Fan Expo, you can't even move. Even the Toronto Comic Book Show, where I know a lot of you from, and I met a lot of you from, near the end there, before the COVID hit, walking even through there was almost, you couldn't even move. It was crazy. OCAD. Colin, you're saving my life today. Thank you. It was OCAD. Anybody remember going to those shows? That was back in like 86, 87, 88. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yeah. I work at the AGO. You're thinking about OCAD. Yeah, Colin, you're 100% right. Is exactly what I was thinking of. OCAD. Yep. Ontario College of Art and Design. I couldn't remember it. And I'm a guidance counselor, guys. I couldn't remember the name of OCAD. Anyhow. Thanks, Robert. Guys, thanks so much for popping by. I'm going to call it quits right there. I'll probably come back again and do this again in a week or two. There's going to be another edition of What's in the Press dropping probably this weekend. Won't be tomorrow, probably Saturday or Sunday. I'll drop that. I got a lot of cool books to share with you, so keep your eye on the channel for that. If you haven't done so already, please, if anybody's new here, do subscribe and hit the like button. And share these videos, please. The sooner I get to 600 subscribers, the sooner I have another draw. Stavros, who's here right now, won my last draw for some free grading and pressing. And at 600, I'm giving out some more. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Until next time, as I always say, keep reading those comic books, and guys, keep collecting those comic books, right? Keep collecting. We're all of us are in this for different reasons. I mean, all of us have our different connections to the comic book world, whether it's a nostalgic thing. We've done it since we were 8 years old or 9 or 10 years old. In my case, 15 years old or 14 years old. Whether you're new to this, whatever. If you're doing it for investment or you're doing it because you love the movies and it's brought you to it, whatever. We love comic books. So I look forward to meeting you here again next time. And until then, take care and be safe. Bye for now.